Before you play this etude, ask yourself this question. What is this etude actually supposed to sound like? And I don't mean just in terms of the notes and the rhythms, although I mean those are important. I mean more in terms of the adjectives that you would use to describe this piece. Like, is this piece of music supposed to be happy? Is it supposed to be sad? Is it supposed to be noble? Is it supposed to be yearning? Supposed to be hopeful? And does the mood stay the same the whole time? Or does it ever change? And if the mood does change, does it ever change back to what it once was? Playing without knowing what you really want it to sound like is kind of like going on a drive without knowing where you're going. Now, I'm from the Midwest, so I know that actually driving around with your friends can be a lot of fun. But if you actually want to get somewhere, quickly and efficiently, it's probably best not to just aimlessly wander about. It's best to plan a route beforehand and then stick to it. Think about what adjectives you would use to describe this piece. Where is the emotional climax in this etude, the moment of most emotional intensity? How should you pace these crescendos and the decrescendos? When should you breathe? When should you cut off the long notes? All these and many more questions are decisions that you have to make. And it's okay to experiment early on when you're practicing, but at some point you have to take responsibility for your own musical decisions, because at the end of the day, nobody is going to tell you how you should play it. You have to make that decision for yourself. Now, the good news is that other people also have to make these decisions for themselves. And it's totally fair game to steal some of their ideas because, I mean, you have access to a lot of recordings of this etude from the internet. You can talk to a private teacher about this etude if you study privately. You can look up on Wikipedia, like the origins of this piece, the composer, why these etudes were created. And you can look at the written markings and the score, see if you can learn anything from that. Point being is that you need to do your homework and use the tools that you have to find the information that you need, and then use that information to inform your musical decisions. So how did I incorporate these ideas into my playing? Well, at the beginning, I really wanted to go for a very simple and singing sort of sound. So I wanted to stick pretty close to the original markings and also go for a very even and smooth sound throughout. And then wanted I believe in measure 19, when it goes to a minor key, A minor to be specific, I really wanted to emphasize that contrast by going for a more spooky sort of sound. So to do that, I emphasized the notes that had accidentals on them, the ones that are outside of the key, and also by making the dynamics more dramatic. And then at measure 35, I believe, it goes back to the original sort of opening figure. So I went back to the original sort of mood that I was going for, this original adjectives, very simple and very singing. Now, you don't have to like everything that I did, or any of it, I guess, but I hope that you heard at least one cool thing that you can take away and incorporate into your own playing. So that's going to do it for another episode of the Trombone Practice Guide. I hope you enjoyed, and the series is going to have to take a bit of a hiatus just because I'm working on a multi-track project right now, which I'm not very good at multi-track projects, but I think this one's actually going to turn out pretty well. So, yep, there's that to look forward to, and then after that, I'll be back for Bordogni number 6.